Welcome back, guys. So I know it's been a while since I put out a video here on YouTube. If you are in the know, you know that I've been traveling a lot here with high limit racing, and it's tough to put videos out on a pretty consistent basis out here on the road. But we got a day off here before we head to Port Royal Speedway tomorrow for the Bob Weicker Memorial, and so I wanted to put together a video. I might do one later, another video today, but I definitely wanted to put one out today talking about Justin Peck and his, kind of comparing what his first part of the season from last year with high limit racing looked like compared to this year. Obviously, this season he's with a brand new team, to him at least, at Rudine Racing in the number 26. Last year, he was in the 13 for Buick Motorsports, that car now driven by Dason Persley. And so, at the beginning of the year, there was a lot of hype around Justin Peck in the Rudine car. Started off with 3 wins with the ASCS down at Volusia, 3 straight nights, dominated that whole weekend. When the Outlaws showed up to Volusia, had I think 1, maybe 2 top 10s, and then I felt like it was kind of quiet. And I felt like at the time, when we went to Vegas and we went to Tulare and Kern, all these places, I felt like he wasn't really in the spotlight. We didn't really hear much about him. It kind of seemed like they weren't running very well. But then I looked at the numbers today, and he's actually been running very, very well compared to where he was at last year. And if he didn't lose that engine in the heat race the other night at Grandview, he'd probably be one of the hottest drivers on tour with high limit racing going into this weekend at the Bob Weicker Memorial. So I wanted to take a look back to last year, and these stats are just with high limit because obviously Peck has been, he's ran with the Outlaws a couple of times as well. But last year with Buick Motorsports, his first 13 races on the tour with high limit, he had a 12.6 average finish. He had a qualifying average of 13.0, which you'll see when I flip this board around. Both of those numbers have improved dramatically over the course of the 13 races in 2025 with Rudine Racing. By the time the first 13 races were over at that point in time, he was 264 points out of the lead as far as the championship goes, and he was 10th in the point standings. He only had 4 top 5s in 13 starts. He had 5 top 10s. He had a plus minus of plus 16, and he had 53 laps led in the entire season. I want to say he led in 4 different races, and he only led 53 laps in the entire year. He also had 2 DNFs in these first 13 races. So the numbers, not exactly good. They had a couple of races where they were running well and had mechanical problems or got into a wreck or whatever. But it's just it was kind of mid, right, to start the year out in 2024 with Buick Motorsports. And obviously this team had been together for a very, very long time, and they had a lot of wins, and they had a lot of success together. But then at the end of 2024, we knew what happened. Goes to Rudine. And so I'll flip the board around. We'll take a look at what he's been able to accomplish so far this year. So in 13 starts this season in 2025, taking out the Outlaws, taking out ASCS, an 8.6 average finish, which is a 4-position difference from where he was at this point in time last year in the Buick Motorsports 13. And the same can be said as well for his qualifying average at 9.0. Last year, it was at a 12, make that a 13.0. So a 4-position difference in both average finish and average qualifying. That is a pretty monumental change in the grand scheme of things. I mean, 4 positions a night is actually quite a bit. And then in the point standings, he is 122 points behind Brad Sweet, and he is sitting 6th in points. So a 4-position difference in points and a 142-point difference compared to where he was at in 2024. So that is obviously pretty big. And remember, this is taking into account him blowing an engine at Grandview and having to start from the B main and driving his way forward. These numbers would be even better if he didn't have that issue and just ran second in the heat race like it looked like he was going to get. But obviously, you can't add that in there, right? I mean, he blew up. That's what happens in racing sometimes. And so these are the numbers with that issue. 5 top 5s in 13 starts, 9 top 10s in 13 starts. So he has 1 more top 5 and 4 more top 10s, and a plus minus of plus 39 so far in those 13 races. And that's with him qualifying relatively decently. He also already this year has 55 laps led. If you remember back to the other side of the board, he had 53 laps led the entire season. So he's already in 13 races this year has 2 more laps led than he had in all of 2024. So Peck has found himself at the front of the field more often, led a ton of laps at Kokomo, probably should have won that race, and led a bunch of laps at Ransomville as well when he was able to get the win. And then also I wanted to put this on there because he's the only driver, I believe, besides Brent Marks in the front half of the point standings with High Limit right now. He has started in the top five. I want to say it was, 5 times. He started in the top five times, and he's finished in the top five. So a 100% success rate. When he starts in the top five, he also finishes there. And the same can be said for the top 10 efficiency as well. Every time this year that Justin Peck has started in the top five or started in the top 10, he has been able to finish in those positions. You cannot say the same for Brad Sweet. You cannot say the same for Brent Marks or Rico Abreu or Aaron Reitzel. Justin Peck has been able to start up front and stay there. And obviously that's very, very important. And it's led to him being not too far behind in the point standings. 122 is going to be very, very tough to, make up. But he's not that far behind Aaron Reitzel. He's not that far behind Brent Marks right now for a 4th position in the point standings, right? So things have been going a lot better than I feel like I originally had thought for this team. And, they had that really good run. They were 3rd at Tri-City, 3rd at Lakeside, 2nd at Kokomo. Probably should have won that one. 1st at Ransomville. And then was on his way to probably, you can never assume, but probably another top 10 at Grandview before that engine let go in the heat race. So Justin Peck has been very, very good. And now this weekend going to the Weikert, Port Royals, 3 straight nights of racing there. This car has won before with the Outlaws at Port Royal Speedway. Justin Peck himself has won there before when he was in the boot car at Port Royal and had a bunch of top fives. I want to say he was in the top 10 2 of the 3 nights at the Tuscarora 50 last year. So maybe a good weekend coming up as well for Peck over there at Port Royal. But we'll just have to wait and see. But I wanted to hear your thoughts because I feel like they've been kind of under the radar before this kind of run of podium finishes and that win came out. The numbers are very, very good for Justin Peck and Rudine, right out of the gate here, 13 races in. And I'm very, interested to see how they will continue to progress throughout the season. Will they be able to get into that top 5 in the point standings? Will they get more wins than Peck did last year? Already got 1 so far in 2025. So probably should add 2, right? But already got 1, so that's pretty good. But did want to hear your thoughts. What do you guys think about this team and this driver combo so far in 2025? It's been fun to watch them and see them have a little success here, even though it's a pretty small sample size to open up the season. So, yeah. Now, sorry once again, haven't been able to put out a ton of videos, but we've got Weikert this weekend, and then I'm going to be heading home for a few days, and then going out to my sister's wedding in California the weekend after that. But going to be trying to put out some more videos when I get home. It's just tough out here on the road, guys. I'm sure some of you may be watching this video know that as well. So. Nice job by Justin Peck. Nice job by Rudine Racing so far in 2025. Wanted to give those guys a shout out and also hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon here on the Rodman Rundown.